Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And another domino has fallen as the Indianapolis Colts have officially acquired Carson Wentz from the Philadelphia Eagles to fill a void left by Philip Rivers' retirement. But before I get into my thoughts on this trade, make sure you guys are staying safe. Leave this video a like so we can help beat the YouTube algorithm. And if you are watching this channel for the first time and you love football content, this is the place to be. So go ahead right now, click that subscribe button, and also click that notification bell so you will not miss a single video. But let's dive into this trade. Without further ado, let's dive into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
The terms for the trade goes as follows. As the Eagles trade Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts, and the Eagles get back a 2021 third-round pick and a conditional second-round pick in 2022. Now, that looks a whole lot different from the first-round pick that has been rumored that the Eagles were asking for Carson Wentz. To be 100% honest, in my opinion, I don't think the Eagles were going to get a first-round pick based off how 2020 looked, based on how things have looked in Carson Wentz's career after that 2017 MVP-like season. I don't think the Eagles were going to get a first-round pick for him. That 2020 season for Carson Wentz did not look very good. He was at one point leading the NFL in turnovers. He was at one point looking just absolutely horrible. And he ultimately got benched for Jalen Hurts during that 2020 season. And then for games, Carson Wentz wasn't even activated for the game. So when you look back at Carson Wentz's 2020 season, the play alone, I think, diminished his value a bit. If he was able to have a better 2020 season and the Eagles were trading him, I think they would have probably gotten the first round pick out of that. But when you look at the two teams that were considered to be trade partners, I've already been on record to say I don't think the Bears should have made that move because they have a lot of issues when it comes to the salary cap. They still have a lot to fix on defense as far as the salary cap goes. And even if the Bears were to acquire Carson Wentz, I still think that don't solve a lot of problems. To be honest, in my opinion, if the Bears were able to acquire Carson Wentz, I think it would have been the Philadelphia Eagles in 2020 part 2. Because number one, you have a coach with an ego. 2020 with the Eagles, it was Doug Peterson. Then you get to 2021 with Matt Nagy's ego. You have a bad offensive line already in Chicago. You don't have a lot of weapons already in Chicago outside of Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney. Then when you look at Allen Robinson's contract situation, there have been rumors that the Bears are going to tag and trade him. It would have been a lot of different pieces to have to come to a fold for the Carson Wentz trade to the Bears to actually work. So when you think about it, the Bears, if they would acquire him, it still wouldn't have fixed much. You still would have had a lot of things to correct on the offensive side of the ball for the Bears. So as you look at this trade for the Indianapolis Colts' sake, I think it was the best fit for him. I think they are more ready on the offensive side of the ball to do some things going forward. Even though you still have T.Y. Hilton's contract situation on the table, I think you're more likely to re-sign him, especially when you get a guy of Carson Wentz's potential. And when you pair Carson Wentz with Frank Reich, who was the offensive coordinator of that Philadelphia Eagles team in 2017, where he had his best season to date, I just feel in that situation that Indy is more stable as far as the organization goes. You don't have a lot of questions when it comes to the front office of Indy like you do in Chicago. It's not a lot of pressure to sit there and you have to make everything work in year one like you would in Chicago. Because when you have Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace on one-year leashes, everything that they do has to work in year one. Versus when you're in Indy, as he is in now, you get the coach that, number one, knows you. You get the coach that you had your best season under. And you get a proven coach that no matter what quarterback that he's had throughout the course of his tenure as the head coach of the Colts, that quarterback has worked. Whether it was Andrew Luck in 2018, had a really good season. Jacoby Brissett in 2019 led the Colts to a really solid season. And you had Philip Rivers last year who led the Colts to a really solid season. So I feel when you get Carson Wentz back paired with Frank Reich, I think it is the best situation for him as far as getting his career back on track, as far as putting him in the best positions to succeed as far as putting that Colts organization more towards contention. And then when you look at the Colts offensive line, they're led by Quentin Nelson and Ryan Kelly, who have arguably one of the best offensive lines in football. You have a running back position with young Johnathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, that have played really, really well last year. Even though Marlon Mack is a free agent, he's still, if brought back, a really core piece to this offense. Michael Pittman Jr. at the wide receiver position had a really solid season last year. Ali Cox has been solid at the tight end position. So when you put Carson Wentz with an offense like this, I feel he has a better chance to succeed going forward than he would have in Chicago, especially with the head coach like Frank Reich. And then you look at the Colts on the defensive side of the ball, led by Darius, Leonard, Deforest, Buckner. They are proving themselves to be one of the top defenses in the NFL. So when you look at the organizational standpoint, there's more stability in Indianapolis than it is in Chicago. There's more to work with as far as the salary cap goes in Indianapolis than Chicago. There's more to work with the offensive side of the ball in Indianapolis than Chicago. So I can see why Carson Wentz would have preferred to go to Indy over Chicago. It is the best fit for him. He gets a chance to get back with Frank Reich so he can get his career back on track. He gets a chance to really succeed in an offense that is going to be coached towards his skill set, a coach that knows him and knows how to get the best out of whatever quarterback there is that he has. In my opinion, Carson Wentz going to the Indianapolis Colts is the absolute best thing. And not to have to give up a first-round pick proves absolutely vital. With the Colts can address some things that they need, maybe get another wide receiver in there. I think they can address a little bit on the corner position on defense, especially if Xavier Rhodes walks in free agency. So when you look at that, the Colts still have themselves some leeway to get some pieces around Carson Wentz on the offensive side of the ball and probably show up little small things on the defense going forward. So the Carson Wentz to the Colts, I felt was the best thing for Carson Wentz and the Colts was to reunite those two together. And I think the Colts are still putting themselves in that contender range in the AFC. They were that close to winning the AFC South Division title last year, and I still think they leave themselves in that contention spot with getting Carson Wentz this year. So the Colts were the better fit for Carson Wentz over the Chicago Bears. In my opinion, the Bears would still have a lot more to fix on the offensive side of the ball than the Indianapolis Colts. And it's a better fit for him with the organization being more stable, the organization being more solid than the Chicago Bears. But at the end of the day, the news is finally broke. One of the quarterbacks are off the board as Carson Wentz is ultimately traded to the Indianapolis Colts for a 2021 third-round pick and a 2022 second-round pick. But that's just my thoughts on this trade. Make sure to leave this video a like. Comment your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you agree that this Carson Wentz trade was a good trade, or do you think that this Carson Wentz trade can ultimately be bad? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to see how you guys think, and would love to continue the discussion on this Carson Wentz trade. And also, if you have gotten to this point in the video, make sure you click that subscribe button and also click that notification bell so you will not miss a single video that I post. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.